He was the most gifted child in the slums of India, but at the age of 18, he aspired to become a servant in the landlord's household. Even such a humble dream seemed unrealistic to the villagers because, under India's caste system, those from the lowest castes weren't even qualified to be servants for the wealthy. Their status was lower than the cows the family kept. Despite this, 8-year-old Ram demonstrated exceptional learning abilities. He could fluently recite and translate English stories that no one else in the class could understand. The principal recognized his talent. However, due to the landlord's exploitation, this exceptionally gifted child had to give up his studies and start working to earn money. Every penny Ram's family earned had to be handed over to his grandmother. To make matters worse, Ram's father contracted tuberculosis from working in harsh conditions for years and unfortunately passed away. On the day of his father's funeral, Ram watched his father's body being cremated. At that moment, it was as if Ram saw his own fate for the next few decades in his father's demise. Eventually, he felt everything go black as he collapsed. It wasn't until later that Ram finally understood that as a member of India's lowest class, they were like chickens living in a coop, never thinking of rebelling or escaping. Since his father's death, Ram fantasized about the day he would make something of himself. While working at the tea shop, he learned to eavesdrop on customers' conversations, trying to find an opportunity. One day, the landlord came to the village to collect rent as usual, but this time, he brought his son who had just returned from the United States, having been influenced by foreign culture. The young master had no concept of the caste system and treated the lower class people very kindly. Ram was certain that the best opportunity before him was to become this man's servant. He overheard that the landlord's family was looking for a driver for the young master. Ram immediately went to his grandmother and asked her to fund his driving lessons, but in his grandmother's mind, she just wanted Ram to get married as soon as possible and have more children to earn money for her in the future. Ram knew very well that once he got married, he would never have the chance to make something of himself, just like his older brother now, who worked from dawn to dusk for a living, completely tied to the village. Ram had to promise his grandmother that after becoming the landlord's driver, he would give her every penny he earned in the future, making her the richest woman in the village. Hearing this, his grandmother was tempted. Eventually, with his grandmother's 300 rupees, Ram boarded the bus to the city full of hope. Fortunately, Ram had always been smart. Before long, he got his driver's license. Then Ram went to the landlord's house, but before he could enter, he was stopped by the housekeeper. The housekeeper could tell that Ram wasn't anyone important and wanted to send him away immediately. But just then, the landlord happened to pass by the door. Ram quickly complimented the landlord through the door. As a member of the lower class, he had learned from a young age how to flatter the rich. Upon learning that Ram had come to interview for the driver position, the landlord immediately decided to give him a chance. Soon, Ram was on the job. Although he lived in the most rundown house on the landlord's property, it was much better than the house back home where more than a dozen people lived together. Having never worn clean clothes since childhood, he now had a new uniform. He instantly became a little smug, but soon he discovered that everything seemed to be different from what he had imagined. After becoming a driver, instead of letting him drive, they had him start cleaning. In their eyes, Ram was just a backup driver. Before long, Ram discovered a secret about the old driver, and this was also the opportunity that would change his life.